Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Food for Thought. We are going to talk about some of the ideas that you probably already heard in other videos that I rant and rave about, and hopefully we will cover them today in this video. Today we're going to talk about the modeling stuff. Like I said in my other video, the comic book review video that we did just now, that just got uploaded. You guys, the Snake Eyes arm broke off, and I recently contacted Flame Toys, and they said that they would give me a replacement part, and I'm pretty excited about that. So hopefully we can get a replacement part. I sent them a video. Sometimes it's just good to provide proofs for some certain companies, most companies, to just provide a little proof, you know. Maybe record yourself doing some things, so when you're actually doing reviews or something, you can send the video proof on what happened, and they can be like, oh crap, our toy malfunctioned or our product malfunctioned, and we can send a replacement part. Or maybe they might send you something more. I don't know. I haven't received it in the mail. We will see when it gets here. Hopefully we can get a replacement part. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, because there is something on eBay that I could buy that would replace his joint here, because it looks like somebody else had the same problem with the leg joint that snapped off. So I guess they went out and bought another kit. So they ended up probably taking their kits, probably a couple pieces off of that one, and then taking what was left and being like, somebody's going to want this because it happened to me. It's probably going to happen to somebody else, and it happened to me. So I was thinking about buying it. It's not too relatively expensive. It's as price as a 30-minute action, probably the price of a 30-minute mission model kit. So it's about $15 something to get that sent in eBay. But hopefully we receive a new joint piece, the forearm and a joint piece, and we'll be good to go, golden on that one. We'll see when it gets here, and when it gets here, it'll be awesome. But this week's modeling kit's going to consist of me finishing stickers here on him. So we're going to put some stickers. We're going to work on stickers, and we're going to do some panel lining on a entry grade RX 78-2. So if you guys know what Gundam that is, good for you. But today we're going to get to it. Or not today. Tuesday. Tuesday we're going to get to it. We're going to do some panel lining, and hopefully we can get some nice panel lining going, and it'll be fun and creative, something I haven't done. And I'm not too concerned with working with cement right now. I have some, but I'm not too worried about bonding parts together, because I want to be able to take my Gundams apart until my skills improve to where I actually want to set them in place and don't ever want to remove them. Those will most likely be when we start getting to airbrushing and really getting creative with our stuff. But until I can work on that, nothing really we can do until I can get an actual hobby workshop going and stuff like that. And once I get all that stuff put together, pieced together, it's going to take time. And once I do, we are going to be flying in our hobby. But until then, you guys can chill with me for a couple of years doing the same thing or whatever, until my channel grows, or until I get some funds to go towards and stuff like that. Basically get a really good job, because that's my plans. Get a really good job. Once I get a really good job, I'll be doing it part-time. So I'll go job, come here and do this. And I might do that anyways, even if I'm successful in YouTube or Twitch. I might move this over to Twitch and do some live streams as well. If you guys want to see that, let me know. I'll throw live streams with Twitch when I do builds and stuff like that. But as of right now, it's live streams and stuff ain't gonna really happen because summertime, kids are around. I gotta be there for the kids, and I can't just leave stream on with you guys staring at pretty much nothing. But once we work on that, we'll get to it, and we'll sorry about that, guys. As you could hear it in the background, had to go deal with it. But yeah, that's the reason why we don't do live streams. Point proven right there. So I'm trying to work on it. Eventually I will have more time without entities here, and once we don't have no entities, we'll be able to work out a schedule or something, maybe in the evening times when they're gone or they're napping or sleeping for the night, and I can throw out a couple hours to you guys to spare. Being a stay-at-home dad is it's a hefty project, and that is what I am right now. Until otherwise, that's what's going on in my life. We're hoping to change it eventually down the road. It will be changed, but until that, you guys got to deal with it. I wish I could give you guys more time. As you probably heard in some of my other videos, you can hear it in the background. It has also been pointed out to me by the wife that happens, and that's kind of relatively why my videos are late, is because I'm trying not to record while they're around, so you're not hearing it in the background and all that stuff. But they don't fall asleep until late, and then by the time it's late, I'm too tired to do anything. And that's the way the life goes. I was very, very energetic about it when we first started off, so it was able to get them knocked out one by one. But now as time goes on, I've also, like I said, been going to the gym, working on my health. That's what's also been happening as well. So hopefully the gym will provide more energy, more gumption to actually do these things. That's why I'm able to knock out 3 videos today, because today is my off day. Sundays are my off day for my gym days, so I don't actually go to the gym on Sundays, and today is Sunday for me, and today is my off day, as you can tell. But I've uploaded 3 videos by far, and I'm planning on uploading a 4th one and a 5th one. I'm hoping to get to that 5th one today, and the 5th one is the panel lining one, so hopefully we can get to that and putting the stickers on the Gundam Wing Zero real grade. So somebody brought the idea up. I was watching TikTok the other day, and they had the idea, or somebody threw out kind of a Gunpla, I want to say a Gunpla video. It had to pertain with Gunpla, and a collection video on what collection basically was. And there was a video prior to that brought me to that video. It was him doing some ideas and people throwing it back in his face. But one of my ideas for that, I can't quite remember the video, but it brought up an idea for me. Displaying wise, I will collect as many Gunpla as I can get my hands on. But what the ideas of display is going to be for now, until I'm able to get a good display to display entry grades, first grades, high grades, real grades, master grades, and different types of. That's the way I'm going to display them. Once I get a dream display going, is by grades themselves. I will display as grades instead of just type. So it'll be displays, series, and then all that stuff. But until I can get that, which is going to involve, it's going to involve a lot of work to do that, and then we'll have at first, when I start my first display, it's going to contain a lot. So it's going to contain my Batman, my Spartans, my Turtles, my every Yu-Gi-Oh collection. So everything's going to be organized in different series wise at first, until I can get a separate room for Gunpla and all that stuff. And then I'll make half that room Gunpla, and then half the other room anime. So if I do get into some anime, because Gundam is anime, it will always be anime. That's the first like anime kind of seriousness, all that, and everyone considers it anime, not Western animation like some other people would consider it. Like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, stuff like that. That's Western animation. So Gunpla was on Cartoon Network, or Gundam was on Cartoon Network, but it was not Western. It was Eastern because it was made Eastern, and that was anime. That was the beginning of anime. Big robots. That's when big robot culture started coming in, and Gundam was one of them. And then it got serious and had those arcs and stuff like that, and got really really good for the stuff. I wish they would modernize some, maybe come up with a more modernized Gundam with more better action scenes and stuff like that. But we'll see. I haven't quite been invested. There's probably it out there and stuff. I just haven't watched it, and I need to sit down and binge watch Gundam religiously. I will get on that as soon as possible. But I also want to own the DVDs and physical stuff before I actually jump in and just watch it on Hulu, Netflix, or whatever. I will eventually, but until I own a physical copy, there's nothing I'm going to really rush to. Because once I get the physical copy, I know I'm safe in just watching it whenever. When it's on streaming services, once they take it down, it's gone. So I do have to rush to watch it there, but it just, with that rush, it's like I got so much other stuff that I want to rush to watch as well. It's a whole thing and all that stuff. But that would have been a good segue to go into the next thing I would be talking about. But yeah, that's what it's going to contain, and then hopefully I'll have another room just for like collections, Batman, Spartans, Halos, and stuff like that. And once I can muster that out, I'm not actually going to go full force in making a whole room just a Batman, or some other people do Lord of the Rings or stuff. I will get more collections as I go on, and more things I can get a hold of and stuff like that. But then that's what we'll have, and we'll display our good pieces and store the rest of the stuff in a collection area and stuff like that. That's what we have forever and enshrined and stuff like that. And then maybe down the road we have a piece that's worth selling, and we might sell it off and stuff like that. That's not really flagship, but somebody else wants, But yeah, room Gundam, and then room Gundam / anime, room all the other collectibles that I'll have. That's a pipe dream. Don't take that into like full seriousness that is going to happen. It's just dreams, wishes, wants. But yeah, back onto the physical DVDs and stuff. I've also been collecting DVDs and watching. So I recently just went back and watched, so Sunday's kind of going to come into a quick movie review of not a specific movie, but it's going to talk about other things. So the ones I have finished is I recently watched The Knight's Tale, and the reason why I watched The Knight's Tale, Heath Ledger, he plays in Batman. So the way my alphabetical thing's going right now, it has A Knight's Tale, it has the Adam Sandler movies, so that's what I originally watched because I couldn't have my Knight's Tale DVD with me in the collection at the time, and then somebody found it and put it in the collection. So when we were doing some cleaning, it was out somewhere in the Ethernet, and then we brought it back in here and it got put in. So I started with Adam Sandler, so Mr. Deeds, Big Daddy, and all that stuff. So that stuff was just what you expect of Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler is one of my favorite comedians. He will always be one of my favorite comedians, and surprisingly, he stays out of controversy. You don't hear much about it. Was watching The Wedding Singer. isn't that politically incorrect sometimes. Or I was kind of watching it. I didn't watch it all the way through, but I was kind of watching it last night to try to even out some Adam Sandler movies, because the reason it goes is because it's in a DVD set that has Adam Sandler on the side, so it's A. So that's why I watched pretty much all those. And then you got Assassin's Creed Legacy. I ended up watching that. That's actually surprisingly okay. It wasn't like it is what it is. Like, it's third party looking movie and stuff. It wasn't a big box office like drop or movie that went to the movie theaters, straight to DVD, all that stuff. But I'm pretty glad I have that in my collection because I love Assassin's Creed and all that stuff. So my plan there is to try to get some Assassin's Creed figures and stuff like that. Maybe some gauntlets, and some cool stuff. Maybe make an Assassin's Creed gauntlet, make my own Assassin's Creed clothes, cosplay, whatever. I would consider it a cosplay, but I'm not going to actually go out and cosplay. You won't ever catch me actually cosplaying out in the real world. It's not my thing. It's not going to happen as much as I would. I wouldn't say as much as I want to, because I really don't. I don't want to cosplay. I don't want to pretend to be somebody else or pretend to be something and go out in the real world and do some stuff like that. I want to go out and just have fun as myself at a Comic-Con. See other people cosplay, because don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking on cosplayers. They're one of the greatest things that has happened to cons and stuff. People pretending to be other people and stuff. Some people need to kind of work on it and realize that you can't cosplay that, but you can, or you should, you do you. That's all I got to say. Do you. If you want to cosplay it. But it's just like, I don't know if you should have, but good work. That's why I'm at. I'm like, good work. I'm gonna still tell you good work, right? Because they put a lot of time and effort into it, and they deserve it. So they're allowed to do whatever they want to do. If they want to some girls want to cosplay as Deku, let them cosplay as Deku. If some guy wants to cosplay as Boba Fett, but he's not the right size, and he's a little hefty for that size, and he makes the armor to fit him, he deserves it. So as I said, do you. That's what it's all about. So I'm more on the freedom aspect of people doing what they want to do. So, and it's not going to hurt anything for a guy to go out and cosplay as Boba Fett when he's not the right size, or he's not in the shape that he needs to be in to cosplay as a person. But what's so funny is you can see pictures on The Mandalorian of the actor and in the suit and stuff, and he's not a small buff guy either. So, as I say, but I'm back onto the point. I'm not going out and cosplaying anytime soon, or probably ever will cosplay anytime soon. I will create cosplay, and I will create mannequins or stuff if my skills get to that level, because I am planning on to be a modeler, not artist, a modeler. You could consider it kind of art, but it is art. But like I'm going to create stuff, and like a Revan helmet, I will work on a Revan helmet. I will work on, and it will happen, and I will get good at it. And that's what I'm determined, because that's my hobby, and I've chosen it, and I am 10-20 years behind on it. So I need to start working, and working fast and hard. So that's my plan. Back to the DVDs. Assassin's Creed, watched that, was okay. I give that probably out of 7, because it's not really good in aspect of like video action stuff like that. It's good in the sense of it's 8 or 9 on the story, because it's SEO's dad. It's a story about SEO's dad and how he became and how he stirred the pot and what happened and the story before SEO. SEO auditory. But yeah, so I watched that. So we ended up completing those, and then we got to the B's. You would think Batman would be next because those are the DVDs I have next, but it isn't. Back to the Future was next. So I ended up going out and getting the trilogies, as you've probably seen in my other video where I showed you what DVDs I purchased, and we ended up getting Back to the Future. I ended up watching Back to the Future. Holds up. I can't believe that movie still holds up. That movie is one great movie, and there's a Doc at Walmart, and when I get the funds, I'm going to get Doc as quickly as possible as I can. Hopefully he's still there. That's one of my pet peeves, is that stuff's still not there. They'll take it off a shelf and put it in storage, and then it'll stay in storage and you won't see it, and then it'll come back out when it's $120. But sometimes you just got to pick other hobbies over that hobby, and I don't have a Back to the Future collection. About all I have for Back to the Future is a hoverboard I received from Loot Crate. So that's my only Back to the Future apparel item that I have, and I really want to get Back to the Future items because they're very niche. So I'm not gonna have very many of those. So Time Machine, all that stuff, maybe try to work on that. Maybe getting those Doc figures. Get the what is it? Biff's son. I forget. Biff's son. There's a figure of that nature, and then hopefully we can look up to see what kind of other figures they want. But, you know, back burner to the back burner to the back burner. So now we are in the B's. So my next thing is to watch Batman. I've been watching the one with Adam West because that's on Hulu. I need to throw because that's the complete animated series is the one I have set up because Batman animated so it's what's next. I have a few. I think I showed you in the video what I have. I have a VHS of Batman. I want to try to get all of them on VHS. And I watched the new Batman with Peter, what's his name? It was okay for its own universe. It was okay for its own universe. A lot of people ragged on it and stuff. It has its few moments where you're just like, why is that in there? There's no point in it being in there. You should just went on with it. Yeah, it has its moments. It was pretty okay. This is where I didn't like. They made Batman kind of like passive. He has like one or two moments where he has clarity and he's like on it with his detective work. Because Batman's supposed to be the world's greatest detective. He's supposed to be able to see a crime scene and be like, oh, I got it. The way the movie went is, what did Batman stop? He didn't stop anything. The Riddler got everything. He did what he wanted to do. About the only thing he stopped was telling at the end when Riddler was like, you made it all up. I'm not who you think I am. That's it. That's the only way Batman destroyed him, which kind of sets up the whole thing of Riddler going against Batman, because Batman is let the Riddler down and he ends up meeting the Joker. I'm assuming that was the Joker. But my thing is just like, the Riddler can figure things out. Like, really, the only person that I would say, the one criminal that knew who Batman was before anybody is the Riddler. The Riddler knew Batman was Bruce Wayne probably the whole time. In any series, You can always say. There's one animated series where Riddler's in jail and Riddler's just sitting there and Batman or somebody knocks him out because they know if they don't knock out the Riddler will find out a way to get out. Because the Riddler's probably the only person that is as smart or smarter than Batman. I would say he's not as smart as Batman. So Batman's as smarter than the Riddler, and this is the reason why. Because Batman always foils the Riddler, right? Or in other verses, Riddler is smarter, but he always let Batman win. I would prefer the angle of Batman smarter than that, because Batman always outsmarts everybody. In Justice League, everything, he outsmarts everybody. So Batman's intellect, and just not just being smart, but just being able to look at the whole picture and details. So like he does both. So I ended up watching it, and that's why I didn't like the Peter one, because Batman just stumbles around the whole movie. Just literally bumbles, stumbles, and stuff. If they were getting across the point that he was beginning to be Batman, yeah, I kind of see that. But like, they didn't put in the realization of how Batman was just so graspable and was able to take things and just be like, figure things out. And Batman's supposed to fool these things from happening. Literally, the mayor gets shot at the end. They literally set up a whole ambush for everybody as he's in jail, and spoilers alert if I didn't say that, in jail, and they literally shoot the new mayor at the end. The only difference is I think Gordon stopped him from getting shot, but it's just crazy. Yeah, but like I was saying, he ends up stopping him, Gordon stops them from shooting the mayor. But yeah, so like Batman really didn't prevent anything. About all he did was save a bunch of people, and and still at the end there was probably still a total bunch of people that died. So the Riddler got his message across, got everything. He exposed Gotham. He even exposed Bruce Wayne himself, like, in the Wayne family. So like there was no like real big. Sorry for all the waving. I'm messing with the camera. But yeah, he didn't really prevent anything, and he stumbled into majority of like the scenes, and like the Riddler fed him the answers. Even at the end, they stayed at the end. Like the Riddler, like, gave him everything. He was like, we did it together. And even Batman goes, we didn't do anything together. I was trying to stop you the whole time. Like, it was just one hot mess of a thing. It was okay theatrically, like theatrics and all the scenes and stuff, they bring it up to like a 7. The story, or what, all of it together brings it up like an 8. The story itself brings it down to like a 7 or 6.5. It's slightly above average. It's not like, it's like okay. And here's to a point, like, you're gonna see there's gonna be a common trend to all these movies that I just watched. Like, and then the next one was G.I. Joe's. Snake Eyes. I'm really upset with that one. I'm not upset per se. I just, like I said, the theatrical, so the visuals, the stuff, on point. 8, 9. Like, the budget's there. They did really, really good. The story. Snake Eyes doesn't talk. They have to do a second movie. Like, this is a cash grab, right? And there's ways of doing it to make the fan base happy without trying to make a sequel. Like, you can make a sequel, but add into Snake Eyes doesn't talk. At the end, he leaves talking. He took a vow of silence. There's a couple versions of it. He took a vow of silence because Storm Shadow betrayed him and destroyed the clan. But at the end, the whole thing, he ends up betraying them all, right? Storm Shadow the whole time was the good guy. The whole time. And then his grandmother makes him out to be the complete and total bad guy because he made one mistake. I can understand you're not ready to leave the clan. But no, she just like writes him off. Like, or he wrote himself off. I might have misinterpreted it, but he ends up leaving and then going with the group who decided to destroy his clan. He can give a master thing, and then he still has access to the crystal that he can give to Cobra. Like, and then the clan's just all accepting of Snake Eyes' betrayal. That's what gets me. Like, they stop him. They like punish the clan leader more than they actually punished him. And then the thing is, like, Snake Eyes didn't even go through some elaborate training. He just went through some trials. Like, he wasn't even like top notch like he didn't like go through actual hard grit training. There was just like he went through 2-3 trials that he was supposed to be able to get through. Maybe he had the skills before he joined, but like, how does like a vagabond kid join the Yakuza and then like all of a sudden have these master skills? Like, these guys were supposed to be top shelf ninjas. Like, even that is just like, maybe they made it more realistic to bring down the skills. But these are critiques. I'm left confused. That's all I'm saying. I'm just left confused. I'm not trying to get at it, but it's just like I'm left confused. That's all I'm saying. Like, I would have liked some puzzle pieces to put the puzzle together, but they left a couple puzzle pieces on the floor or something like that they could have brought in and stuff to make more clarity, right? It's a G.I. Joe movie. What do you expect? Right? It's a G.I. Joe movie. But Snake Eyes is one of my favorite characters, and they could have done Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes a lot better than what they did. And then one big point to it. What is the point of Scarlet being there? There was no point in her being there. Literally the last point where she came in and handed him the folder, that's it. That was her whole thing. Him discovering his dad was a Joe. So he joins the Joes. Right? At the end of the movie, did he join the Joes? No, he's just saying, we're going to bring Storm Shadow home. After Storm Shadow just left. Because his grandma didn't kick him out, just said you couldn't be the leader. But you still be part of the clan. And he's like, he throws a temper tantrum. So Snake Eyes is going to chase after a guy throwing a temper tantrum. And that ends up joining Cobra at the end. Like, the whole wrap up didn't wrap up. They just left more questions. And the ends frayed. Like, I'm confused. It made sense to probably the people that made it. Didn't make sense to me. There's got to be a couple puzzle pieces laying on the ground that I'm not putting together. It just baffles me. It just baffles me. Like I said, this one is like solid 6. It ain't gonna. I give it a solid 6 because the theatrical side of it, like the visuals, the stuff, but the storyline. No, the beginning of the storyline, well crafted. I give him that. He joins the Yakuza. He turns out to be a spy for the Yakuza, which is trying to infiltrate, or Keto, who's trying to destroy the clan. He ends up being a spy. He really wants to get revenge on his the enemy. All that made up sense up until he was about to kill the dude, right? 100%. On board. That was an 8.59 movie. until the end. The end made absolutely no sense. They left more questions than answers. You can leave questions at the end without completely destroying the movie, but that's what they did. It blew my mind. And then at the end, you're telling me Snake Eyes is talking? In one of the Snake Eyes movies, The Redemption, G.I. Joe's, he gets a mouse shot. None of that. Wasn't sliced with a sword. Nothing to make Snake Eyes stop talking or a vow of silence. Even that. Until I vow silence until I catch my buddy. But it just was a total crock of like lore at the end, just out the window. That's why I feel. This is all, guys, this is all my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. I'm just confused. And if you want to try to explain it into the comments down below, I agree. I'm going to probably agree with you and be like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. It was in this, or it was in that. It was explained here. But on just base, the movie left questions to be desired, right? Sometimes I think I'm going to go with the route of I'm going to watch a movie without bringing sequels in. And then I'll judge it on that, and then judge it on sequels, right? And other lores and aspects, right? So we'll take that. But with the movie sequels, I don't know if these are part of the canon over here with the Dwayne and Channing Tatum ones, but with those, it didn't match up either. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, those don't seem like that's part of the Snake Eyes origin. You know what I'd like to see, though? Something like this, but with other Joes. You can do that with, like, Roblox. G.I. Joe's Roblox origins. G.I. Joe's Sergeant Slaughter origins. And make it into a television show and do one episode on a Joe, right? You can even do 2 episodes on a Joe. Maybe craft a series of it. That would be pretty BA. A Netflix series or a Hulu series or whatever streaming platform you want to release to. Those are some real good ideas right there. But just Snake Eyes movie origin, the origin is just, it left me confused. That's all I can say. Maybe they'll do another one. I don't look up to see if they are or they're not, but just on the merits, even with the sequels or other movies here, it just didn't craft well, man. I just, like, it left me confused. And one thing that upsets me is Snake Eyes talking. I got it for the origins. He needed to talk 90% of the movie, but then at the end, something had to happen, and nothing happened. Sorry for the rain, but it's raining heavy out there, as you can see. And then we have Prey. So we're going to get into Prey. Prey was okay. I liked it very much so. What bothered me with Prey was how everything was contradicting. Like, he would say to do something for hunting, she would say something to, but it played into the whole movie aspect of she was the ultimate hunter because she killed the predator, but it's just at the end, it's just like she ends up killing the predator, but at what cost? It cost her brother. And then the dude dies in like the most shitty way. Like, her brother dies the most shit. All those fucking, or sorry for the language, all those nice action scenes where he just takes the spear, spears the predator, goes into ham mode, and then just for the predator to be like, oh, I'm going ghost now, and then come up behind him and stab him. The whole time they've been sitting here fighting and doing, and he just stabs him at the end and just tosses him to the side. It's just like, okay. And then she goes off, and then it turns out, and then she sets up a whole elaborate plan to kill him and stuff like that. But like at the end, it's just she contradicts how they've been hunting for years, but her way of hunting is the ultimate way of hunting, and it turns out she was right the whole time. Yeah, it was just empowerment movement to her. So let's leave it at that. But it was really good. I give it an 8.5. It was really good. Story, it's what you expect of a Predator movie. I mean, well, the story's not going to be like, oh my god. It's what you expect. Predator lands. He's hunting. He goes hunting, and then encounters some people that stop him. That's the way it works with all of it. It worked in the first one, second one, and third one. Like that's what they're gonna do. I did hear somebody though when they were talking about theirs is like how at the end most of them end up meeting all the other predators, or they make a big thing of it. I like that they didn't do that at the end of this one. I like that. But the thing is, it's just like, you know, all the equipment's still there, right? The spears, the stick that he used, and all that crap's still there that it can be used. It's just weird that stuff's left behind. I guess it got buried or something along with him or whatever. I wonder how she got him out of the swamp to cut his head off. But that was an okay movie. I give it an okay. You can tell which people they were trying to empower with their message there, and I'm cool with it. Like, I don't care. But like I said, the problem with these movies, right? And I give them merits or points on just that. But if you add this little tiny tidbit in the end, these points drop really drastically. Because when I was thinking that I watched Back to the Future, I sat down and watched Back to the Future. These movies, the Batman one, the Snake Eyes one, and the Predator one, you know what all three new movies I have in common? I paused them, walked away, did something else for a while, came back to them. Some of them the next following day. I didn't watch them all the way through. They didn't keep my attention. Like I said, certain movies just don't do. They're not crafted for me. They're not. I'm a Predator fan. How do you not craft a movie for me? By introducing certain aspects or certain angles, and that's cool. They can do whatever they want with their movies. They're movies. They're the ones with the what you call it, the way the franchise on it to be able to make the movie. They're the ones that have it. They can do whatever they want. If they want to make a pile of shit, or the Predator shitting a pile of shit, and that's 30 minutes of the movie. It's their movie. They make it. Will it sell? Yeah, because a lot of people are just fans, and they're gonna buy whatever shit just falls out of their ass. But yeah, but it's just not those certain aspects like take me away from the movie. They break my immersion to actually connect with the characters, and I get it. It's very, 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 very in today's world to make characters to where people connect with that character, that connects with everybody, because everyone wants to be unique. Everyone wants to be diverse. There is no common culture. There is no common denominators that everybody sees into these characters. Like back then, other people were able to look at these characters and be like, oh, I can see myself in that character. These characters, I cannot see myself in them. Plain and simple. So the connection isn't being made there. So what I have to do, I have to find myself connecting with other characters. Like in Prey, I connected with the brother. So that's where my connection was able to continue on, so I could finish the movie. With Snake Eyes, it was Storm Shadow. I connected with Storm Shadow. I didn't connect with Snake Eyes. I did, sort of, but not as much as I would like to connect to Storm. I connected. My plight went more with Storm Shadow than it did with Snake Eyes. I connected with both the characters. That's probably the only one that I may have watched all the way through, but I'm pretty sure I paused. Yeah. I apologize for all the cuts, guys. It's been a kind of a troubling time to get this video put together, but just a lot of thoughts on stuff and things. Like I said, was saying plight went out to Storm Shadow more than Snake Eyes, but I do feel Snake Eyes and stuff like that. I did connect, and you would think I would connect better, but I just didn't connect to those characters. And the same with Batman. Batman's a white male, you know, straight and all that stuff. You would think I would connect with him. I didn't connect with him at all. Even though he's brooding and looks more of a depressed teenager than, not even a depressed teenager, but like a depressed adult, and you would figure I would connect with him, and I didn't connect with him either. But like I was saying, the reason why is I did connect with those characters. They didn't sell on the storyline. That's the problem. The backstory, the stuff, the things that you're not traditionally, but things that you would figure would be them to be the character weren't the character. And then obviously with Prey, didn't connect with her because it wasn't made to connect with her. I'm not made to connect with her. There's ways of making me connect with her. It's just I wasn't connected with her. And it just all, I'm just finding it all like I'm not connecting with characters. The movie's not keeping my attention where it should be, and I'm wandering off in it. So it takes me time to come back, revisit it, and connect with them. And I'm just not finding that in traditional movies or any movies in general. I find it more in anime and those storytells and stuff like that. I love anime and their storytelling. You can't. There's nothing that can beat that the way they do. But like and the thing is, anime is not directed to a certain group, and I find that's where the problem lies. With most movies and most television shows, they're directed towards groups. They're trying to find groups. Stop trying to find groups and try to connect with everybody. If you do that, you'll find success 99% of the time. And the thing is, you can still find those groups with still connecting to everybody else. It's not hard. It's hard, but you can do it. And I know you can because you get paid the big bucks to do it. Maybe you just get paid the big bucks and you're just like, I'll throw spaghetti at the wall and watch it stick. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts on movies and stuff. And that's why I haven't really been watching new movies or stuff like that. I haven't even watched all the Marvels. Like, I stopped watching after Iron Man 1, actually. I don't even think I really watched. I've watched Iron Man 2 and seen it. I've seen Iron Man 3. I haven't, like, actually sat down and physically watched the movies. And those are the ones that I'm just like... And I didn't even connect with Spider-Man. Spider-Man's not been my jam or not even close to what I would consider Spider-Man. But, you know, it is what it is. But like I was saying, guys, it is what it is. That's the way I feel and all that stuff. And I don't care. People can come at me and say they're not made for me. And I got that. They're not made for me. I'm not going to argue with it. But, like, if you don't make it to where I can kind of relatively relate relate or even get does not mean I'm gonna like it, and that's just my opinion. And it's cool if you don't. But like I said, the new Predator looks awesome. I love the new Predator. It looks awesome, but the story and the relationship is just not there. But like I said, I gave it an 8.5. I mean, the theatrics. You can make any story base good as long as you have the theatrics to back it up, and it looks good. But just understanding the concept, and a lot of people, that's why a lot of people give it bad reviews on things and stuff like that. It's because they don't understand. It doesn't make sense. You break canon, you do this, you do that. It just doesn't make sense for some people, and that's just the way it goes. And those are the people that really dig into movies and really love the fans, or not fan base, but the series and stuff like those. Those are your passionate people. And I just take it with a grain of salt, swallow it down, and see if they can do better next time, right? And I buy what, like I said, I buy what I buy, and I like what I like. If I got to get the movie to complete the collection, I'll do that, but I'm not going to support the movie. Like, you'll hardly rarely, I'm going to be waiting until that until that stuff goes down in price. I'm going to be buying it on sales, stuff like that. I ain't going to be buying it straight come out and all that stuff. If I hear a negative connotation with the movie, I'll hold off and wait until it goes down in price and get it later. Because you can go out to thrift stores and all this stuff and buy cassette tapes for $1. You'll eventually get it. You'll eventually go to a Dollar Tree or a Dollar General, and it'll be, what, $10? I mean, you can go to Walmart, go to the big bin of $5 movies, and get you a nice, movie that belongs in your collection, but you didn't pick up, like Ghostbusters, the one that's all female cast. You can pick that up for $5 because people didn't like it and they didn't buy it with their wallet, and you can get it later to fill out the collection. And then when the collection comes, you have it up there and be like, why do you have this version? Shouldn't you have the collector's edition? Yeah, I didn't like that version though. It wasn't worth buying, so I got the crappier version one to be like, it's in the collection, but I don't like it. Just minor stuff like that. I don't know how other people feel about the way they feel about things, but that's the way I feel. So, but like, there's certain things that I'm just going to swallow with a grain of salt and get. So it is what it is. There's no getting around it. Sometimes you just have to do what you have to do when you go with a collection. They hooked us while we were young, and we're full in the deep end, and then they're trying to drain the pool. It's just like, we're stuck in the deep end. Why are you trying to drain the pool? Well, it's not for you anymore. Well, I'm all the way out here. How am I supposed to get back over there? Hope you guys like that analogy. I thought it was a pretty good analogy to explain kind of the way you love collections, and somebody comes in and just like doesn't make it for you anymore. Makes it, and it's funny because they don't make it for you anymore, and they make it like hard to be part of it anymore, and then they get mad when you're not part of it anymore. It's just like, you literally kicked me out and locked the door, but you're like, crawl through the window please, and don't make any noise on the way in, because we don't really want you here, but we have to have you here. It's just like, it doesn't make sense. But I think this video has gone pretty long. We hit a big food for thought episode, and I appreciate you guys staying, watching the video, and hearing my thoughts on some things. If you do like it, please hit that thumb down there. It always helps. And if you can, sub. We're at 19. I would like to hit that 20 mark sometime this month. Hopefully we can do it. And if you like something else, please share the video. Sharing always helps, even if you want to share it on a social media website or something like that. It always helps. And please have a good day. Always be nice, I guess. I'm trying to find something inspirational. But I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.